Click it or ticket. That's the warning that the Monongalia County Sheriff's Department is issuing drivers. I'm Rob Gillespie, and straight ahead on WVU News, I'll tell you more.
Are you stressed out? I'm Tia Tran. Coming up next on WVU News, I'll tell you how a little stress can be a big difference in your health.
I'm Victoria Licata, and coming up on WVU News, I'll tell you how state officials are pushing to increase childhood literacy rates in West Virginia. Our award-winning WVU News starts now.
Monongalia County drivers need to buckle up before heading out on the road. Find out why the Sheriff's Department is enforcing more seatbelt checks. I'm Taylor Eaton.
And I'm Andrew Seeley. Final exams won't be the only challenge for WVU students come the end of the semester. See how stress is affecting the student body. You're watching WVU News, an award-winning newscast produced by television journalism students right here at West Virginia University.
Motor vehicle crashes are the leading cause of death among people between the ages of 18 and 34.
However, the Click It or Ticket campaign is aiming to decrease those numbers. WVU News reporter Rob Gillespie joins us in the studio with more.
Thank you, Andrew and Taylor. The primary enforcement safety belt law allows any West Virginia officer to pull over and issue a ticket if the driver or passengers are not buckled up. Monongalia County Police are expanding their seatbelt checkpoints through a new grant. I found out how these tighter inspections will improve safety within the county. The Sheriff's Department is using a $10,000 state grant to conduct off-duty seatbelt checks. In the first weeks, deputies wrote more than 200 citations. Drivers share their thoughts.
For the most part, police just be riding around looking for a reason. If you don't have your seatbelt on, that's a perfect reason.
The Sheriff's Office says so far this program has led to several misdemeanor and felony arrests.
Beside the seatbelt violations, we've issued texting violations, talking on cell phone violations, misdemeanor violations resulting in the stops, whether it be expired registration. We've even had a couple DUIs and a couple felony arrests for that.
Adults 18 to 34 are less likely to wear seatbelts than adults 35 or older.
Every time I get in the vehicle, I put my seatbelt on, gotta stay safe on the roads.
According to the National Safety Council, between 2004 and 2008, seatbelts saved more than 75,000 lives. The National Safety Council says teens, commercial drivers, people who drive at night, as well as African Americans, are less likely to wear a seatbelt while driving than any other group. The good news, according to the NSC, is in 2009, seatbelt use averaged 88% nationally, compared to 69% in 1998.
If you're just about to get out the car, you're going somewhere short distance, there's no point to wear your seatbelt.
Officials say seatbelts reduce serious crash-related injuries and death by as much as 50%. In the first couple of weeks, 84 seatbelt violations were issued. Motorists who are cited for not wearing a seatbelt could face a $25 fine. Andrew and Taylor, back to you.
While West Virginia's primary safety belt law buckled down last year, a national mandate for health care is still being questioned by the Supreme Court.
The mandate requires for-profit business owners to provide contraception to their employees. However, owners of a certain craft store say this violates their beliefs. WV News government reporter Nicole Linder has more.
Birth control and craft stores. The unlikely duo is gaining the attention of the nation's highest court. Craft store chain Hobby Lobby presented its arguments to the Supreme Court last week, challenging a provision to the Affordable Care Act. The mandate requires many employers to provide female workers with birth control coverage.
Birth control should be a standard part of healthcare coverage for women.
Hobby Lobby claims the provision violates their religious freedom. The Christian-based business says some contraceptive methods covered under the provision conflict with the company's views. Experts say allowing for-profit companies to pick and choose coverage options could lead to future problems.
I think it's probably better that we have a federal kind of blanket healthcare coverage and not allow employers to kind of cherry pick what kind of coverage you get.
28% of women in the U.S. use the birth control pill, and under the Affordable Care Act, insured women can now get the pill free of charge.
If it's going to be for like personal menstruation cramps and stuff like that, then I think it's fine for birth control to be in there, because I mean, if you're sick, the employer is definitely going to be paying for your sick fees and stuff like that.
The Supreme Court will issue its decision in late June. Nicole Linder, WVU News, Morgantown.
More than 7 million Americans signed up for the Obama healthcare system, but Hobby Lobby's statement of purpose pledges to operate their company in a manner that is consistent with biblical principle.
The right to privacy is often an issue brought to the nation's highest court, but our judicial system can't keep up with technology. A new app is stretching the boundaries. The Cloak App is one of the 2 million apps for the iPhone. It's nicknamed the anti-social app because the GPS technology allows users to avoid their enemies. But the capabilities also allow users to stalk anyone they follow on Instagram. And with over 3 million Americans being stalked annually, many people say this crosses the line.
That's asking for someone to follow you or find exactly where you live.
Instagram users who want to protect themselves can do so by setting their profiles to private. The feeling of someone watching you can be stressful.
And even more so when you're trying to go about your daily routine. WVU News reporter Tiet Tran found out how stress is a big problem for WVU students. He joins us now at the anchor desk with more. Tiet?
Thanks, Andrew and Taylor. April is National Stress Awareness Month, and it's time to consider how stress is affecting our lives. And do you feel stressed out?
Yes.
Yes, all the time.
All the time.
Currently, 3 out of 4 Americans say they feel stressed at least once a week, and officials say it's because of the pressure we put on ourselves.
I think there's a demand in society for accomplishment and achievement.
Well, from personal pressures, I build myself up with expectations of what's my next project going to be, when am I going to hit deadlines, am I living up to my own potential, and that stuff that's hard to escape.
According to officials, 80% of workers and 50% of students feel some sort of stress every day, and about half resort to alcohol or drugs. We all know exercise is good for the body, but it's also good for the mind. Working out regularly, like walking on the treadmill, can decrease your chance of stress as much as 25%. Stress can lead to health issues. Heart attacks, strokes, rapid weight gain, deep depression are all just a few examples the body can endure from it.
I would say it probably makes me eat more, which is why I would like to go to the gym more often, but I can't. And it probably makes me sleep less. I have trouble sleeping a lot.
According to stress.org, stress is the second leading cause of death among college students. According to the Center for Disease Control, other ways to deal with stress includes eating healthy, talking to others, and taking a break from work. Andrew and Taylor, back to you.
The daily grind can be stressful, but taking on small and meaningful challenges can make a difference for you and someone else.
In West Virginia, studies show that 2/3 of all children are not reaching their full potential when it comes to reading. WVU News education reporter Victoria Licata has more on how the state is addressing the problem with low literacy rates.
West Virginia is one of 4 states to see their reading scores decrease since 2003, and lack of reading outside the classroom is one of the issues.
If you're not reading or doing any kind of education within the summer programs, you're falling behind.
West Virginia is one of 4 states to see their reading scores decrease since 2003, and lack of reading outside the classroom is one of the issues. West Virginia Kids Count says 73% of students aren't reading efficiently by the 4th grade level, which leaves experts to push both parents and teachers to encourage reading at a young age. Experts say that it takes more than just teachers to impact children at an early age.
I think if more parents such as myself that have an education background try to do more for the community, it might help those kids that don't have that home life or a parent at home that's helping them. We can try to help them.
Studies show 76% of children from low-income families in West Virginia struggle with their ability to read.
They may may just have a single parent in the household that has to work long hours, and when that child comes home, they may not have that parent sitting down and helping them with their homework.
Starting in 4th grade, kids begin reading to learn, and researchers say that 3/4 of students who were poor readers in elementary school will continue to be poor readers in high school. Victoria Licata, WVU News, Morgantown.
There's a new group growing in West Virginia called Leaders of Literacy. Concerned groups from the medical field to the governor's office are getting together to talk about how they can better reach out to kids in need.
And education can challenge old ideas and bring in new opportunities.
That's right, Andrew. And coming up next on WVU Sports, reporter Brittany Kavanaugh gives us an inside look to why student athletes are wanting to be paid to play.
Straight ahead on WVU Sports, I'm Brittany Kavanaugh, and I'll tell you how athletes want more than just a scholarship pay.
We're all different. Our interests, our backgrounds can influence our futures. But without focus, they're just dreams. But what if someone could give your interests life? If they could give your background power? If they could fuel what motivates you? That's what gives dreams meaning, purpose. And perhaps that was the moment you knew you wanted to be a mountaineer.
Professional and college athletes share a love for their sport, yet there's one big difference. College athletes are not paid.
Pressure is being applied to the NCAA after student athletes say they should receive pay along with a free education. Sports anchor Brittany Kavanaugh is here to tell us more. Brittany?
Thanks, Andrew and Taylor. Athletic departments are a major source of income for athletic conferences and colleges nationwide. In fact, the NCAA is approaching $1 billion in annual revenue. The NCAA's annual revenue has increased every year since 2000. Now, 4 college athletes are filing a class action lawsuit against the NCAA. I had the chance to receive an in-depth look at what some people think should change. The National Collegiate Athletic Association is responsible for the representation of student athletes across the country. Nathan Panezzi, a WVU senior wrestler, acknowledges this issue.
The university benefits, the NCAA benefits from all the television coverage, the ticket prices, and the athletes who put in all the hard work and actually put on the events get nothing for it. They get an education, but it compares to nothing to what the university and the coaches make for what they're putting the time and effort in for.
Schools typically generate the most revenue from sports like football and men's basketball. The most recent case has occurred with Northwestern football players requesting to unionize. The players believe becoming employees of the school will benefit them more. College athletes are risking their health and education for dedication to their sport. Some believe they should be paid for this for their commitment to their schools. The NCAA is currently in a lawsuit with 4 former collegiate athletes. A change in their policy can spark an overall lifestyle change in the world of sports.
If it ever came to where a public institution were able to do this, then it's over. For college sports as we know it, it's over.
Putting the pressure on athletes too early in their careers may hinder their chances at overall success.
If you reward someone too soon, they're going to give up. They're going to stop going. They're going to lose their dream.
Although opinions are different based on different facts, it is certain that many don't fully agree with the way the NCAA operates. A group of Northwestern athletes won the first round of a National Labor Relations Board battle. If the athletes win this case, this would allow players to be paid beyond their scholarships. Andrew and Taylor, back to you.
Pay or not, WVU student athletes always give their best effort.
That's right, and the Mountaineers have a lot to cheer for, with the rifle team and twirlers both winning their respective national championships.
Well, that's all we have for you on this week's edition of WVU News. You can visit us online at our website.
You can also watch any of our shows on YouTube. I'm Andrew Seeley.
And I'm Taylor Reedon. Please follow our reporters and us on Twitter. Thanks for watching WVU News. We'll see you next time.